Good morning, pirates. Nearly the end of the year, nearly made it. It's calendar week 46. The forest throws its voice. One of the great pleasures of the forest is sharing it with visitors and volunteers. The joy of a forest walk with others interested in the greens and the browns is great for well-being and bonding. Shinrin-yoku. In silence, without coloquators, the secrets of the space muddied the slight vibrations of the air, which are real and which are inside your head. Sometimes your own footsteps emerge from a great distance beyond the trees. On these days, time disappears, the mind clears, and before you know it, you can't walk anymore because you've done 10k in new boots. You haven't broken in yet. Not a great deal happened in the garden this week. It's been raining. It's going to keep raining. I've been trying to get as much of the wood inside as possible, or at least as much as I'm going to need. This is a rotten job to do when the log pile has been rained on non-stop, but the woodshed has amazing drying properties, and within a couple of days of getting it inside, it's already usable again. There are two sorts of dry wood, or rather, two sorts of wet wood. When you cut a tree, the moisture in the plant cells starts to leave. The very best way of hurrying this along is to strip the bark off it, but cutting it, chopping it, or splitting it works as well. Moisture can't really leave through the skin of the tree, but it will leave through any exposed cut side. The smaller you chop it up, the shorter the distance it has to travel. For a 2-meter long tree trunk section with the bark still on, this can take 2 years or more. Let it do its thing, and in no time, 2 years, you'll have usable wood for burning or cabinet making. The other sort of wet is rained on. This will dry out completely in 2 days, but if you leave it standing around and wet, it will start to rot immediately, and in 6 months to a year it will be good for nothing. So I've been getting it all inside. The 4 meters of oak went into the wood shop, and so far I've got about 6 meters of the sprucey, piney, furry stuff in the woodshed. It would be really helpful to have 2 full nights and days without rain. As I was thinking this exact thought, I picked up my phone to check a bunch of weather apps and take the average. I swear, at the exact moment I turned it on, this notification came through. Stürmisch und nass. Regen ohne Ende bis zur Wochenmitte. Wet and wild. Endless rain until the middle of the week. Other than this, I re-sowed the pig field with grass seed, saved from my own grass. I checked on it yesterday and I can see no signs of any sprouting yet. I have a horrible feeling it's all been eaten by birds or mice or something. But then, I'm a doomer. It'll be fine. Probably. I got most of the sweet corn cut down from the new pumpkin field out the back, but I didn't get a chance to shred it on account of the perpetual precipitation. That will be fine as well. And other than that, I honestly can't remember what I've done all week. Pottering, mostly. There was one exciting moment when the rain tried to turn into snow. I shook my fist at the heavens and cried Wehr, which is German for I wouldn't if I were you. And the heavens saw sense enough not to snow, but sleeted sulkily instead, just to be petulant. I started on the next making a thing out of wood project last night. When your woodworking starts with cutting down a tree, there's quite a lot to be done before you get to the bit where you have nice straight planks with nice right angles on them. I prepped some oak, some birch and some larch yesterday. I was hoping that the colours would contrast rather more than they do. The larch is red, sure, but the oak and the birch are mostly exactly the same if you aren't looking closely. This week, I'm mostly going to be in the wood shop, I think. Whenever things dry out, I will rake leaves, move wood inside, shred sweet corn, converse with pigs. Next week, no doubt a rant on COP28. Or maybe not. Maybe this year I can ignore it. For some mad reason, this week I decided to read the IEA World Energy Outlook. It's ridiculous. Someone recommend me something nice to read. But until then, until next time, be excellent to each other. Much piratey love, your Pirate Ben. exo, exo.